Yeah, we would like to welcome everyone to today's webinar. And we'd also appreciate if we can all turn on our cameras and still reach out to everyone in the meeting and say one or two words, familiarize, no, not familiarize now, at least exchange greetings, catch up the long time that you guys have seen each other. At least I know I see Sabere the War every other Sunday. Yeah, every other Sunday. So you can turn on your camera or mute your mic and have some greetings exchange. Should I call names? Mr. Kende, good evening. Mr. John, good evening. Mr. Akintomi, good evening. Can you unmute your mic? You can turn on your camera. We're trying to wait for others to join before we start. We are looking at, we have 3 more minutes for us to start, and every other person can just join in. But we just want us to exchange pleasantries while we are waiting, so we won't just keep the room quiet.
Good afternoon.
Very well, sir. How is everything?
I'm fine.
Thank you, sir.
I was saying, where are the women?
They are coming. They're coming. maybe because God created men first.
Yeah, they're taking care of home front. So it already suggests to us that our ladies are doing very well.
Yeah,
so we should pat them very well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to actually ask. This is for Mrs. Balogun. Your name, the spelling, Tomiisin, like the double high.
Yeah, that's the way it's spelled. That's the way it's spelled in Yoruba. Tomiisin.
Yeah,
awesome.
So correct.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Because when
you see anyone that's not spelled like that, that's not the correct spelling.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. A lot of people actually just don't want to have those double letters in their name. They just want to eliminate one. Yeah, actually. Oh, awesome. Okay, I was trying to play some, but I have a gospel song and I don't want to make it like
a. You have what?
All gospel music, so I don't want to make it as though it's a gospel gathering. So that's why I did not bother playing any music. So you guys should pardon me for that.
Let me help you.
I'll be fine.
Right application for audition.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear.
Thank you.
For you go make time, beg God to make time, but see everybody.
This is by Cobans and Simi.
Yeah. I hear it. I hear the unique voice.
Show my brothers, show my sister, so they come forever. I know. If you see person, they come rejoice with them. If they ask you what's going on, take no offense. See this time by time, your time will come because no be only your king Jesus. We plenty for ya. One day we go back up. One day, someday we will down. When they tell you money won't be everything, they best to the bottom. Say myself, I won't get down. So my brother, so I know you shall. Condition forever, no turn me from. Make you hustle, make you want you. It's your temple forever. Nothing's going on, nothing's going on. See, passing on the couple. It's like time they call. Something facing I be dancing on the top piece. No give up. It's time to call. So my brother, so my sister, it's good forever. No, it's good on. Jesus, you don't don't take you on the day. Write application for audition. Be like saying, do the good. They don't laugh. So sick. Say until you make it get the aeroplane.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. We are so happy to have you guys around, and we believe it's all gonna be for the best. And at the same time, we want to officially welcome you to the very last bi-monthly webinar of the Alumni Association for the year 2024. And the topic we're actually going to be treating today is practical steps in managing midlife crisis. Before we actually go about that, we would like to give honor to Honor Steele, and we will be calling on the pastor in our midst, in person of, he has not been ordained a pastor, but I think within the prayer, yeah, we'll make him a pastor for this minute. So I'll call on our brother John Adeola to lead us in the opening prayer while we kickstart the webinar. Please unmute your mic and lead us in prayer, Brother John.
Our Father, Lord, we worship you, adore you. Thank you for on that moment to also gather once again to share on life insights, on ideas, on our experiences, on pathways for us to live life better, for us to learn from our various experiences, for us to manage life crisis as it is normal in life. May all the words we hear today plant good seeds in our life. May all the speakers that come, may the speaker that is speaking to us today speak the right words to us. And at the end of the day, let's have the fullest course. We find it for our prayers in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much. All right, so I would like everyone to mute their mic. If you're just joining, kindly put your mic mute. And I'll just read out the rules guiding the meeting. Once you join, please put your mic on mute. Also, turn off your video. The only person that is permitted to have video turned on is the speaker. And at the same time, if you have any question, you can actually wave your virtual hand, or you can use the comment section, the chat session, basically, to drop in your question, which is to be attended to. When we are called to give a round of applause, we have a virtual round of applause, which you can also, make use of. If you're excited about what you're hearing, we also encourage that yes, you can give a virtual applause as well, or you can give any virtual emoji regarding to whatever you feel. All the same, if you have any comment whatsoever, you can drop it in the chat. At the same time, if you want to also contribute, you can also raise up your virtual hand. We would also reach out to you for that purpose. At the same time, we would like to proceed with full alacrity. Today, like I said, we have in our midst one of our very own who has been doing extremely well, the mental health industry. And believe me, if you follow her page, you would have seen so much more that you would not have issues when it comes to mental health. You would have known how best to actually handle your mental states. And that's one of the reasons, because we know in the world today, we have quite a lot of people having mental issues. It's not just until you're mad, basically. It's just about how best you can actually manage some basics. And some of these basics are actually something that are very huge. Stress is not basic, but people see it as a normal thing. Yeah, stress and how best to handle it also matters a lot in our day-to-day activities, and also a lot of things that our mental health has actually caused so many damages to so many people and all that, because they could not actually handle it very well. And basically, this meeting this evening, this afternoon, this morning, irrespective of where you are, is going to be an eye opener on how best we can actually handle our mental health, how best we can treat ourselves and to take good care of our mental state, how best we can improve and also help others improve, because when you understand your state of mind, it will be easy for you also to understand or to pass it on to others. So this is an avenue for us to catch up on all those things and make it easy for us and also for our nearest neighbor. And it's a privilege for us to have a wonderful speaker in our midst this day. She was a student of agricultural science in Joseph University. She graduated in the year 2014, and she has a company of her own, which she's a consultant, a mental health consultant. I guess, yeah, she's a mental health consultant. She has a company of her own. She runs our mental health business, and she's been doing wonderfully well on our IG page. If you're not following her on IG, you can actually just do that right away. She's at Tomiisin Balogun on IG. You can do that. You have a lot of insightful posts that she's been doing. She has quite a lot of it on her post already, on her handle already. So please permit me as I bring forward our speaker for today. This is Tomiisin Balogun. I should take us on this very, very delicate topic and very interesting conversation as well, which is going to be. which is practical steps in managing midlife crisis. And I want us to have writing materials together so you can jot down everything that you know you'll be getting from here. And also, if you have any questions, if you have anything that is actually bothering you, if which you cannot actually ask, feel free to bombard at the end. I'm sure she'll be willing to respond to every of the questions too. She'll be willing to actually like give you the right path to getting yourself back. That being said, Mrs. Tomiisin, you have the floor. It is an avenue for us to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. So please, let's have our mind open. Let's be connected to this. And I believe that, yes, we're not going to go back empty-handed. Thank you. Have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheun. That was such a rich introduction. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me. I'm very excited to be with you this evening. It's evening. It's 4:36 p.m. here in Egypt, New Cairo. So I'm very excited to be with you. And I really want to thank, all the organizers of the webinar for having me. I take it as a privilege, to be with you this evening. And I see this as homecoming for me. In fact, I didn't come with slides because I really wanted us to, engage and, just feel at home and, really relax and enjoy the conversations this evening. So thank you so much for having me. If you have questions, just note them. We'll have a time to take questions at the end of this session. Yeah, so we're talking about practical steps to managing, midlife crisis. Like Mr. Sheun had introduced me, my name is Tomiisin Balogun. I'm an emotional health and wellness, coach and counselor. And what I basically do is that I help, people thrive mentally and emotionally, people who have gone through difficult life experiences or are going through difficult life experiences, help them hold their hand, on that journey of healing, so that they can reclaim their joy and, thrive and live a purposeful and awesome life. That's really what I do. So today, let's just, get right into it. I want you to talk to me. How are you feeling right now? Can you describe, just put it in the chat for me. How can you describe what you're feeling, the emotions that you're feeling right now? What comes to your mind, like right now? What's the state of your mind? What are you thinking? I want you to just pause. Sorry. And just tell me what is the emotion that you're feeling right now? What's the state of your mind? Put it in the chat for me. I want this to be as engaging as possible. Please, can you mute your mic? Thank you. Someone says excited. I love that. Survival. Thank you for sharing. Put it in the chat for me. How are you feeling right now? What is the emotion? What is the predominant emotion that you're feeling? Relaxed, Mr. Moyo. Thank you. I love that. Can I have more answers? How are you feeling right now? Talk to me. What is the emotion that you're feeling? What is the state of your mind right now? I am grateful. I love it. I love it. Gratitude is such, a beautiful emotion that you can feel. Yes, talk to me again. Can I have more responses? How are you feeling right now? I love that, we can put our feelings into writing, because that's actually one of the very important things that we teach in, in emotional wellness. You must be able to name your emotions. You must be able to recognize what is this thing that you're feeling. Emotional naming, being able to name what you're feeling exactly is very, very important if you want to regulate your emotion, if you want to thrive, if you want to really, bounce back from whatever experience that you're feeling. So I love that, we've shared these things that we are feeling. And it's very, 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 normal to feel different types of emotions. in mental health, we are taught to, see our emotions like, it's like a wave. It's not always, it's not always on a level. Sometimes you're feeling, excited, like someone has shared. Sometimes you're feeling sad. Sometimes you're feeling, a bit anxious. Sometimes you're feeling the emotion of fear, because you are a human being. And, there are thousands of emotions that we feel every day because we are human beings. So sometimes when you feel, some emotions that we quote and unquote call them negative emotions, I don't want you to, to beat yourself up. It's absolutely normal to feel those emotions. And, in emotional psychology, we don't really even like to call them negative emotions. We like to call them uncomfortable emotions, because really there are no negative emotions. Even though you think that those emotions are, bad, you're feeling sad, you're feeling, some form of emotion that you don't want to feel. It just shows that you are a human being. It just shows that, God has made you, and it's just the variance of all these emotions that come together that make us a human being that we are. So don't beat yourself up when you're feeling some uncomfortable emotions. What you should be doing is to probe those emotions that you're feeling, and we will get into that, in the course of the conversation. Thank you. So, we're talking about midlife crisis. I want you to talk to me. What comes to your mind when you hear midlife crisis? What is that thing that jumps at you when you hear midlife crisis? Or, if I like to, retrace that, how do you feel about your midlife right now? If I can replace or remake that question, you can tell me, what comes to your mind when you talk about midlife crisis, or talk to me how you feel about your life right now, about midlife right now, or midlife generally. It doesn't have to be you. It can be something you're just thinking about when you hear midlife crisis. Put it in the chat for me. What comes into your mind? What's the first word that jumps at you when you hear midlife crisis? I know it sounds like basic, but I want us to sort of go into that word. So talk to me. What comes to your mind? Put it in the chats for me. Midlife crisis. What's the word that jumps at you when you think about it? Or what's that thing that comes at you when you think about midlife crisis? With my people, I hope I'm not out of the room already. Yeah, talk to me. So what comes to your mind when you hear midlife crisis? What's the word that jumps at you? Or do you even understand what it means? Talk to me. Put in the chat for me, or you can unmute if you want to talk about it. I'm not seeing any response. Okay, someone has responded. Going crazy. Going crazy. Thank you, Mr. Sheon. Going crazy. That sounds, exciting. That's what comes to your mind. Not at peace with someone. I love it. Yeah. Not at peace with yourself. Absolutely. Yeah. You're correct. And, those are some of the things that you see. Looking for money. Yeah. Making strange decisions. I love the responses. Thank you for being an engaging audience. Yeah. Looking for money, going crazy, not at peace with yourself, thinking about what's next. Those are the things that, we talk about when we talk about midlife crisis. And you're absolutely correct. But really, midlife crisis is really a transition of, your identity and confidence. That's really what midlife crisis is about. And because the world is changing, we have so many, generations being merged into one. There's the social media, there is, many things, the internet, everything is happening, at a very fast pace. So it makes, midlife crisis. Normally, if you think about midlife, the ages are usually from the late 30s to maybe 50s. That's really what, we hear when we talk about midlife. But right now, because the world is fast paced, so many things are happening together. Many generations are being merged in the same phase right now in this generation that we are. So we see that people are experiencing midlife crisis even in their 20s, even in their early 30s, even things that they are supposed to be experiencing like in the later years, they're experiencing it early now because of the way that the world is right now. So it's such a timely conversation that we need to start to have. And it's just really a crisis of your identity. It's just like it's just a transition of your identity and confidence. That's really that is the root of midlife crisis, is your identity that is being attacked. You're looking at your life and you're like, I really don't like what is going on right now. I feel like, this shouldn't be, and exactly the things that we have shared. So I want us to look at some signs of midlife crisis, or some of the things to look out for, or some of the things that happen when we talk about midlife crisis. And the first thing that I want to talk about is, this sense of sadness and regret that people feel. It's like you're thinking about your life and you're feeling like, oh, I feel like I've missed some opportunities. I feel like I should have done this at a particular time in my life. I feel like, and I love that I played this song that I played. I thank Mr. Shion for giving me the opportunity. He was talking about how you're thinking, oh, people are talking about you, that is it until your mates get an aeroplane before you make it in life? You regret and you're feeling, no, I'm not supposed to be where I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now. I feel like things should have advanced for me, in a better way. And all those feelings of signs that you see that, oh, you're experiencing some midlife crisis, you're experiencing some, attack in your identity, you are transitioning identities, your self-confidence is being attacked and you're feeling those signs of regret. Another thing is restlessness. You're just always restless, like you're always bored, you're always exhausted. Like when you sleep and wake up, you're waking up tired every time. You're feeling like, oh, this is not the career path that I'm supposed to be. I feel like, okay, maybe I studied something. For example, I studied agricultural economics, and I'm not even doing anything in agric right now. I've transitioned to another thing. And even though, I made a first class in agric, and it happens to me too. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, did I go to school 5 years to just waste my time, first class and all of that? I'm not doing anything with this, my agric economics and all of that. So things like this happen to us. We think about our life and we just feel like, oh, this is what I should be doing right now. Or, I've lost some dreams, and you're daydreaming and you're feeling like, oh, this is not where I'm supposed to be. Those are, some of the signs that you see, and makes you know that, you're experiencing some midlife crisis. Another thing is you're always irritable. You're always, you are always easily triggered, because you're thinking about, some of your past decisions, and you're feeling like, I should have made better decisions, so you're hungry, you're constantly on the edge, angry with your friends, with your spouse, irritable. Those are the signs that you need to look out for. And when you're experiencing those things, you need to take a step back and really deal with those feelings, of discontentment that you're feeling. Another thing is nostalgia. You are always focusing on the future. You're always thinking, oh, just like I've said, you're always thinking this, when would this thing that I've imagined or that I've dreamt about, when would my vision come to life? You're always reminiscing on what should be every time. You're not focusing on the present. You're always experiencing that feeling that, oh, I wish this should have, this should have happened. There's so many things that we can think about. Another one is, you're just easily tired of your ambition, something that you have always wanted to do. You're just tired of it. You're like, it might be your current job, you're just fed up. You feel like leaving everything and just starting a new life and, and just shutting everything down so that you can really chase the dream that you really desire. Or you're feeling like the current career that you are in now doesn't work for you, and you feel like you've wasted your time and all of that. So those are some of the things to look out for, when you're experiencing midlife crisis. And I want to tell you that all these things, they are okay. It's okay to feel all these things that you are feeling. It just shows that you are a human being. It just shows that you are in this world, and because you are a human being, you would always experience different uncomfortable feelings that that you don't want to. It's just about, navigating them and, really walking through those emotions that you feel are uncomfortable. And, that's what we're going to get into right now. So I want to say that midlife is most times misunderstood as a crisis. Many times we call it midlife crisis, and that's why I want us to start from. Is that word that we have put on that those things that we're experiencing? We call it a crisis. But that crisis can also be a phase for growth. And that is the mindset shift that I want you to, to open up yourself to today as we talk about, managing midlife crisis. Your midlife crisis, the crisis that you're feeling right now concerning your life and concerning your job or whatever thing that you're feeling can be a phase for growth. It can be the beginning, the beginning of the end. It can be, the beginning of a new phase for you. That is the mindset that I want you to understand and I want you to embrace. Think of your midlife as, like it's like a second, maybe adolescence, time where you are just experiencing a rebirth, like you're starting a new life. You just finished, for example, from your teenage, you move to the adolescent stage, and then you become an adult. All those phases are different phases of your life, and that is how I want you to see your life right now, as experiencing a rebirth. You are moving into another phase, and because you're a human being, sometimes it can weigh you down, but I want you to embrace a new mindset and say that, this is a new phase for me and I'm going into this phase and I'm going to embrace it because it's a chance for me to become a better person. It's a chance for me to become better than I've ever been. So it's really embracing that opportunity. And that's what I spoke about, awareness, and we have already started to talk about those practical steps. The first thing is to be aware of what is going on. That's the very first step. Self-awareness is a very important, tool in managing whatever crisis or whatever feeling that you're going through. You must be aware that, oh, this is what I'm feeling right now. And that's why I talked about, emotional, naming your emotions, being able to feel the emotions that being able to name the emotions that you're feeling. I'm feeling tired right now. I'm feeling fear. I'm afraid. We should not be afraid to really accept the feelings that we are feeling, because God put those feelings there. We are human beings, and He shows the magnanimity of God, the bigness of God because it made us complex. It put all these emotions into us, and we're experiencing it at different times. So it shows that you're absolutely okay. It shows that you're a human being. So, accepting and being aware of those emotions that you're feeling is the very first step to navigating them or, regulating them. You must acknowledge your feelings without judging yourself, because if you don't embrace those feelings, if you don't accept it, you won't be able to regulate them, and you won't be able to understand what is really going on with you. So, for example, fear, many of us as Christians, now, Omo Babalola, fear is just an emotion, but we try to cast away the spirit of fear. And there's the difference between the spirit of fear and the emotion of fear. They are two different things. If it's the spirit of fear, you should cast it away, yes, as a child of God. But if you are experiencing fear as an emotion, you should embrace it, because it's telling you something. Every emotion tells you something. Fear, for example, tells you that you need safety. If a lion comes into this room right now, into your room, if you see a live lion in your room, what will happen to you? Will you still stay there? You will jump. You will jump out. You'll be afraid. That is the emotion of fear. That is what you're feeling. And so because of that emotion, that emotion tells you that you need safety. You want to be safe. So it's just like that in any other area of your life. When you're feeling fear, you should sit down and probe that feeling and say, okay, I'm afraid. What is the safety that I need? Fear is telling me that I need to be safe. Okay, what do I need to be safe about? What is happening in my life that is telling me that makes me afraid? And you deal with it. That is how to regulate your emotions, by really naming them and looking for the root cause of that emotion. For example, if you're feeling sad, if you really deep down into that emotion of sadness, you can find other things. But on the surface, sadness tells you that you need connection. You want to feel connected to people. So in that moment, if I give you a big hug, you will feel a little better. So in that moment, if you're married, you can go to your husband or your wife and get a hug. You feel very much better at that moment. So if it now continues to persist, that is when you now have to dig that down and really look into what is causing you sadness. But on the surface, if you feel a little sad, it's okay. It's just to really know why you're feeling sad and really deal with that emotion. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, what emotion can we take again? For example, if you're feeling angry, anger, for example, if you're feeling angry about something, it shows that you want to be valued. That is what anger is telling you. Somebody, your value is here, is up here, and somebody is saying at this level, you'll be that is really what the emotion of anger is telling you. But if it persists, then you have to really dig deep down and see what is going on. So don't be afraid to embrace your emotions. God put them there for a reason, and it's a tool for self-awareness. It's a tool to tell you what is going on with you. Don't be afraid of your emotions. You are a human being. Accept it and let it teach you what is happening in your life, what you need. I talked about it being a tool for self-awareness. It's a tool for really understanding your needs. That is why God put them there. So don't be afraid. When you're feeling joyful, it shows that you're feeling a sense of, possibility, energy. It doesn't really mean that you are happy. Happiness is another emotion. But joy, for example, is you're feeling a sense of possibility, you are energized. That is really what joy is telling you. And it shows you need to dig deep and say, oh, why am I feeling this sense of possibility? It shows that, okay, something is happening in your life right now, and you look through it and understand it. So always never be afraid to embrace your emotions. And, that's the first step, to really managing anything, that you're going through. So I want us to take a moment to reflect on, something, think about it. What is that thing that scares you or challenges you right now about your life? I don't want you to put it in the chat. Just take a moment to think about it. What is that one thing that scares you or challenges you about your life? Just think about it. Then now think about one thing that you are grateful for. Just think about just one thing. Look at your life and think about one thing that you are grateful for. Remember, we're talking about practical steps to manage midlife crisis, and we're already going into those steps. The first one is, being self-aware. Yeah. Joshua says fear of missing out. That's a challenge that you're facing. Yes. How to deal with that is to now start to really take time to look at what is causing that fear. You remember, the emotion of fear tells you that you need safety. Are you safe? Do you feel safe? Where do you need, what do you need to do to feel safe about your life? What are you missing out? So it's really taking time to really go through that thing that you're feeling. That's how you can get liberation from it. So yeah, one thing that you're grateful for, one thing that scares you or challenges you. That's how to reflect and, really gain mastery over your emotion or over the feeling of discontent that you're feeling about your life, especially in midlife. Always think about one thing that you are grateful for and one thing that challenges you. Write it down. I always talk about journaling. Journaling is so powerful. Like, there is no way you can do life without journaling. It's one of the very powerful tools that helps you to navigate life. You must be writing. And it doesn't have to be traditional writing, paper and pen, pen and paper. You can journal on your phone. You can voice print your journals. You can, you can write, your WhatsApp can be your journal. For example, I have a WhatsApp group that is only me that is in that WhatsApp group. I know it's weird, but I'm the only one in that WhatsApp group. I talk to myself. Hi, Tomiisin, how are you doing? How was your day today? What's going on with you? I chat with myself. I voice print things to myself. I send myself voice notes. It's a form of journaling. It's good to write on paper and pen, but sometimes when you don't have, because sometimes you are just in that space where you are packed in your head, you don't want to write. It's okay to voice print your journal and, just write it out, maybe on your phone or something. So it's always good to journal your thoughts, everything that you're feeling. It's always good to write it down. And it will take me to the next point about reframing your thoughts. There are different thoughts that come into our mind as human beings. In fact, there are thousands of thoughts that you think about every day as a human being. I can't remember the number now, but there are thousands of thoughts that come to your mind. So, always reframe your thoughts, especially when you have negative thoughts. You must be interested, and you must master the art of reframing your thoughts, when things happen to you, because you need to focus on the perspective that fuels your joy. When you're reframing your thoughts, because that's the only way to master it. Because when you look at your life, there will be always something that you think about that does not align with what you have always wanted. Or, there's always something that can displease you about your life. You can look at your life right now and say, oh, this thing is not working. And you can choose to focus on it. If you look at your life right now, every one of us in this room, there is something that you can think about in your life now and you start to cry. You just need to think deeper about it. Based on your own journey, you must embrace healing as a lifestyle. It's very powerful, and wherever you are right now, you can start. No matter how far gone you think that you've been, you can always start your healing journey. Everybody needs to heal. There's always something that you need to heal from at every point of your life. Even if you think you had a beautiful growing up, and you feel like everything went on well for you growing up, there is always something to heal from. So even in your current life, things, because we're in a broken world, things will always happen that we need to heal from. So you must embrace healing as a lifestyle. Constantly checking the mindsets that is harming the thoughts that you're feeling right now, so that you can move on. And the last thing that I would like to share is to, this is not trying to be overly spiritual, but we are spiritual people. There is no way you can separate. Man is a spirit, has a soul, and lives in a body. There is no way you can separate your spirit from your soul and your body. We are a tripartite being. So everything that is happening in your soul affects your spirit and it affects your body. So I want to say that you should pursue your relationship with God. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, is very important, because there is that God void in every man. And no matter how much you fight it, it would always be there. So pursue your relationship with God. It gives you a sense of peace, a sense of, calm, a sense of anchor. God is the one that anchors our lives. In the midst of all the chaos in our lives and everything that is happening, God is the one who anchors us. So you must always pursue that relationship with God, every day, no matter how little, no matter how short. Make sure you are in constant touch, with your Creator. It doesn't matter the time, it doesn't matter, the minutes. Just make sure that every time you're connected with God. And I always say that prayer is powerful. Like, even research says that prayer helps to calm anxiety. Yeah, it helps. So always be given to prayer, pursue your relationship with God, because even the things that you desire from God, the promises that you desire from God, I was talking about man being a tripartite being, and you can't separate your spirit from your body. Some of the emotions that you're feeling in your soul, it affects you in your body. Like, sometimes when you have not expressed some emotions, you start to feel tired. You'll be experiencing physical manifestations of the emotions that you're feeling in your soul. And sometimes the promises that God has given you in the spirit, sometimes it cannot translate to your life, because you have things that you need to deal with in your soul. So everything is connected. So you must pay attention to your spirit, to your soul, and to your body. I've spoken about that. And of course, your general holistic living, you must pay attention to your physical health as well. Everything is interconnected. Make sure you are exercising, regularly. You are, even in midlife, exercise is, they always say that it is in your midlife that you start to see the result of the things you did with your body. Like, if you've been eating, you've been eating, too much, or you've not been eating well, everything you've done in your body, it will always show at that time. So, but it's never late to start. Make sure you're regularly exercising. Exercise, when you regularly, exercise, whether you're taking walks or going to the gym or lifting weights, whatever, it releases some neurotransmitters, all the endorphins and, the dopamines and the serotonins and all of that help you to, we call them mood lifters, that help you to be in that state of, calm and peace. So it's very, very important to take your physical health seriously, as you take your emotional health seriously, and take your spiritual health seriously. So everything, is intertwined. So I hope that, I've been able to share one or two things, and I hope that you gained one or two things. Yeah, so I can take questions now. I hope that this was valuable for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please, you can give a round of applause for Mrs. Tomiisin. This is so wonderful. This is so impacting. This is so is an avenue that we have, myself, looking for myself right now, I've come to understand that yes, emotions actually speak. And that's one key thing that I actually am really going to take away from this, that emotions actually speak. So, it's when you're feeling any kind of emotions, it's an avenue for you to learn from, to hear from that emotion and see how best to actually handle such emotions. And based on what she has actually really said, please, if you have any question, you can drop in the chats. And if you really want to ask, you can also, raise your virtual hand and you will be called upon to actually ask your question. You can do that so we can actually round off. So as I was saying, you said you in the beginning you mentioned that the best way to actually go past certain emotions are actually when you journal them, when you put them down. And believe me, I see it as yes, once you can actually put it down, then you can, you will know what the problem is. And once you have the problem written down, you have at least 50% solutions to it as well, which is very awesome. You also made mention of emotions are no crises are normal. Mental health is actually normal. So we should not see it as suicidal, because I know a lot of people find it very difficult to handle. They bottle so much, and because of that they see it as, oh, that's the end. And you already mentioned that it is normal for such things to actually happen. And at the same time you mentioned that it is a phase, meaning that it is time bound. As time comes by, it's definitely going to ease up, and depending on how well you manage it. And that brings me to where you mentioned mindset, because I believe that every phase of life, your mindset actually matters. If you have a very positive mindset about whatever emotions you are facing, whatever emotions you have, whatever feelings you have, if you have a positive mindset towards it, definitely it will be very easy for you to actually to solve such feeling. You also mentioned, this one actually caught my attention is, you said there are no bad emotions, there are no negative emotions. We call them uncomfortable emotions, which, believe me, this is something that would actually really work, because I remember growing up, then they will tell you that you don't have problem, you have challenges, meaning that anything you see as a challenge, then definitely it's going to be easy to actually solve. And it's coming to play here as well, that anything that is uncomfortable, definitely you can make it comfortable by diligently dealing with it, and having a very positive mindset in making sure that yes, you move from that uncomfortable situation to a very comfortable one. And believe me, it's been a very wonderful time with you. I've really gained a lot. I've learned a lot. And you mentioned midlife crisis, the signs of sadness and regret, sense of sadness and regret. And I know this is okay for my home path. I will just talk about myself actually, sense of sadness and regret. There are often times that you look at where you're coming from, and you see that, oh yeah, you did good in a particular situation, and having a similar situation, you're not really doing pretty good. And one thing that always caught my attention is the fact that that particular situation never consumed me, meaning that every situation is actually time bound, and irrespective of how the situations are, you must also have a positive mindset in making sure that yes, once you believe that this is time bound, it's a phase, definitely it's going to go past. And it's an avenue for us to make sure that yes, whatever we are doing, whatever we are passing through at the moment, it is not the end. It is never the end. Nothing actually lasts forever. It is never the end. So have a very positive mindset about everything that you're actually going through. And there are so many things. When she asked that one thing to be thankful for, believe me, there are so many things that you cannot even imagine, things you cannot even mention to be thankful for. And that's the way I also reason, because I believe that if I have any challenge, what I always just do is to wait and measure it. What are the good ones that I'm actually enjoying at the moment? What are the bad ones I'm enjoying at the moment? Look at everything. The good ones are always like, ahead of the bad ones, and makes me like, very comfortable to short. So to the extent that I know that, oh, the bad ones are just going to be, they're time bound, and, having positive mindsets are going to like help me out of it. I've not seen any hand raised. I've not seen any question on the chat. If you have questions, please kindly drop it in the chat. If you want to ask the question yourself, you can also like raise your virtual hand. Okay, so I have a question. I want to be very technical. My question is going to be, in the situation we have, in the country we have, that's Nigeria, we have quite a lot of enormous challenges that have been created by I don't want to use the word politician, let me just say elite, which also affect a lot of youth basically, in terms of unemployment, in terms of the the hunger for money basically, and peer pressure and the likes, and so there are a lot of those factors that actually come in and affect a lot of people in making good decisions, because that affects a lot of decision making and all that. So in a situation where a guy who happens to be the first child, 35, still lives in his parents' house, is underpaid, is employed but underpaid, and he doesn't have things going well for him. Pressure of you have to settle down, pressure of you have to increase your finances, pressure of you have to get a better job, pressure of you have to develop yourself career-wise, and making sure that yes, you also keep up in the society and all that. There are a lot of pressures coming in to just one person. And that one person is finding it very difficult to actually take in. What would be your advice for such person?
Yeah. I want to send love to whoever that is. Nigeria is is another, Nigeria will traumatize you. That is the truth. Like everybody who lives in Nigeria or has ever lived in Nigeria needs to heal from their traumas. That is just the truth. So I'm sending love to this person. But my advice would be that, life is already hard. Like you can't do anything about it, all the things that you're feeling, the pressures and everything, which is valid, but you must always redefine what happiness means to you or what joy means to you. Because there is no way you would focus on the pressures that is coming to you that you're not going to be overwhelmed or you feel like breaking down. So every day you must redefine what joy means to you, because that would help you to recenter yourself. Even in the midst of all the chaos that is happening, joy can mean that, okay, today I was able to achieve a particular task. Or maybe if it's a business that the person is running, when you're analyzing your day, what were the wins today? What did you do today? What is one thing that you're grateful for today? So that is how you can draw joy and say, okay, joy to me means that today I was able to make 20,000 naira in my business, and I'm grateful for that. And you think about it, and you reflect on the process that got you to that place, and you soak it in, and you appreciate it, and you take it that way. Because there is no way that you would focus on the pressure that you're feeling and the things that are not working. Remember, I talked about focusing on the perspective that fuels your joy. It's very important. That's the way that you can get hold of your life when it looks like it's crumbling. You must always look for something that you can be grateful for, something that, that changes your perspective, the perspective that gives you some sort of leverage. It can be as basic as, somebody, you went to work and, something happened and they were supposed to give somebody something and you got it. Whatever it is whatever that situation looks like to you, you must always focus on the perspective that can fuel your joy. I also talked about reframing your thoughts, reframing your your center, your anchor, everything that is happening around you. You must always refocus and say, okay, this is what I'm grateful for today. This is what I'm going to redefine my happiness to be today. It can be as basic as, oh, because you have woken up, you didn't experience anything today, but you are alive. And because you are alive, there is hope for another day. There is hope that tomorrow is going to be better. It's an internal work that takes a lot of mastery. I know that it's not easy. It's not going to be easy, but you must fight. You must fight for your joy. You must fight for your peace. You must fight for your calm. In the, in the midst of the crumbling world and, the challenges that you're facing, you must fight. It's a daily fight that you must pay attention to. And another thing that I would like to say is you must also look, as you're recentering yourself and re-anchoring yourself, you must also look forward. What is the possible solution in this? What can I do? What is one thing that I can do to make it better? So is it, am I going to upskill? What am I going to do? Some of us don't tire to the fight. You must continue to fight. I know that, it is tiring. It's not that it can be tiring. It is tiring to continue to fight, but you must never lose the fight, because that is the only way that, you can win. That is the only way that you can win. So, what am I supposed to do? Do I need to upskill? Do I need to learn a new thing? Do I need to go for, another, do I need to change my career? Do I need to learn something? Because there must be a solution in whatever challenge that you're going through. While you're trying to center yourself, there is no job. Nigeria is crumbling and is affecting me, and I want to break down, and all the things that are happening around that. What is you should also take a step back and say, okay, what can I do? What is do I need to speak to someone? Is there someone I see that is thriving and flourishing that I can speak to and just gain insights? And this person can open my mind and say, oh, there is an opportunity here. Do I need to change my whole career and say, okay, this whole thing is not working. I need to move on. You must be able to tell yourself those hard truths. Or you say, okay, while I'm still waiting for my career to blossom, what can I be doing? I'm going to give you an example of myself. When I got to Egypt, because I came with my husband, initially I was working back in Nigeria. I was actually tired, of my job. It was stressing me. I needed a break. So when my husband moved to Egypt, it was like, oh, thank God, I will have some time to just, take a break and, have my kids and, come back. But that whole process didn't work. Like, it was taking too long. I had to find something else, to do. And that is how, even though this has always been my passion, but that is one of the things that brought me into this whole career mental health thing that I'm doing, is also how I step back and say, okay, what do I love to do? What can I do while I'm still waiting for my career that I left in Nigeria to start up? Because Egypt is an Arabic-speaking country, for example. So you don't even have so many, companies that are ready to take you to get job, except you're working remotely, which is also, they will still need you to be able to speak Arabic because that's the official language. So, but whilst I'm waiting for that career, that whole thing that I'm trying to build, I'm trying to do my master's and, furthering my education and all of that. While I'm doing that, what can I be doing? What else gives me joy that I can be doing? No matter how small that thing is, I run my business from the comfort of my home. I speak to clients all over, from the UK, Canada, everywhere, from the comfort of my home. But it also took me, some time to upskill, take certifications and all of that. All these things are not something that would jump at you. It will take time. But you must always be, always be genuine with yourself and say, how can I move forward even whilst all this is happening? What is one thing that I will do today to move forward, to move a step closer to my goal? I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Very well, extensively as well. Your first sentence actually like answered the question basically. You said finding joy in the midst of crisis. Believe me, that's works actually. Like a lot of not everybody that actually put out a smile are actually like smiling deep down. They just see it as it's a face. So until we come to that realization that yes, it's a face, it would be difficult. But once we realize that, oh yeah, it's actually a face, then definitely we've taken a step of comfort ahead of breaking down the barriers or the challenge that we're actually like facing at that moment. Thank you so much. I got some messages in my DM regarding the question. Someone said the person should give up.
You give up? No, there's no giving up.
Yeah, so I know there are a lot of issues, not just in Nigeria. Like I think it's cut across every nation as well. People trying to acclimatize to some changes in terms of having to move from their own country to other country, trying to get settled and all that. And like you said, everything is actually a phase. We don't know how it's going to end. But when you keep in the strong faith, when you keep in the strong and positive mindset, definitely you are good to go, basically. And one more chance, if you have any question that you want to ask, you can drop it in the chat. If you want to ask yourself, you can raise your virtual hand. Okay. Talking about changing of career. This is me digressing basically because in the course of the whole um, program, you mentioned that you read agric economics and first class for that matter, and now moving into emotional health basically. And I know this is actually like from an angle of you're seeing quite a lot of people having difficulties emotionally, having difficulties with their mental health because particularly guys don't like to share emotional
Absolutely.
They try to just bottle it in. They try to keep it in and add guy and try to solve it themselves. And I don't know if I'm correct, but I think statistically the number of suicide that we had are mostly male.
Absolutely, you're correct.
Yeah. So I know this to me, I believe is one of the things of hard guy will actually lead to. So I'm just trying to encourage every one of us this day, wherever you are, don't bottle up. Try as much as possible to find solace in whatever challenges you're passing through. Try as much as possible to find joy, because a lot of things actually, even God says it's not going to be easy. Challenges are going to come, and there are things that we are definitely going to be facing. And a strong mind, a strong mindset. I don't want to be too spiritual. A strong mindset is actually going to help us in making sure that yes, we face them comfortably and we defeat whatever challenges come our way. That being said, I think there are no questions from the audience. I'm sure they've learned one or two things from this great discussion today. And I believe everyone has one or two things to actually take home. And I'm sure that yes, going forward, those that have been in the category of hard guy will continue to soften up and try to have someone here to speak to. And like I said, suicide is never an option. If you have the thoughts, please unthought your thoughts. So you have there are a lot of things, there are a lot of achievements to ahead of you. There are a lot of successes ahead of you. This particular phase is time bound. Don't forget that. Everything in life is time bound. You're not going to be in this situation forever. So just have the positive mindset, have the right attitude towards whatever you're passing through, and believe me, you're just going to start getting the right answers to every question that is pondering your mind. You're going to have, once you have the right attitude, after getting the right answers, definitely you will give the best at everything that comes your way. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tomiisin Balogun. It's a wonderful session with you. And if you also have, maybe you're shy, you don't want to, type in your question, or you don't want to raise your hand to ask your questions, believe me, she's welcoming. You can always reach out to her on her Instagram handle at Tomiisin Balogun. You can send her a DM, whatever questions you have, you can reach out to her on, and she will be very happy to attend to you. Thank you so much. You can please give her a virtual round of applause wherever you are. You can appreciate, let's appreciate her. Let's show her love. You can give her a virtual clap.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
so
having
much. We
me.
really appreciate. All right. All right. So I want to appreciate everyone for this wonderful time together, and they just about to conclude the webinar. Like I said, this is the last bi-monthly alumni webinar for the year 2024. And we are so glad that we have this magnificent wrap up by our amiable speaker, Mrs. Tomiisin. This is going to keep resonating in the community, because to me, I've learned quite a lot today, and I believe a lot of people also have same as well. She's done fantastically well. Okay, yeah. Yeah, actually, you've done fantastically well as well. I don't actually, I will never agree less. All right, so I would also like to give us brief announcement regarding the forthcoming Alumni Week. And believe me, it's going to be an extraordinary one. Efforts are ongoing at the background to make sure that we have one of the best Alumni Week ever. And I'm confident that you guys are going to have to talk about it for a very long time. And the talk is not going to be negative talk. It's going to be very positive talk. It's going to be good vibe from the start to the finish, and continuous good vibe. And as we all know, the Jabo convocation is happening next week, and it's going to start on the 5th to 7th of December. But the Alumni Week is actually starting on the 4th of December to 6th of December. And we've had a lot of activities lined up for us. We've had great minds in the community, emphasis in the community, because we try as much as possible to make sure that whoever we're going to be bringing to charge us, to speak to us regarding different aspects of whatever we are in our career, we make sure that we bring those kind of people from the community. So everybody that is going to be speaking to us during the Alumni Week are alumnus of our alma mater. And I think that's actually a very great achievement for our alma mater. Like I said, it's going to be happening on the 4th of December, and we have a lot of activities. We have the sport activities, which is going to start on the 4th, and I think it's going to end on the 5th. We have educational conference, and the educational conference, we have a lot of people that will be speaking. We have the likes of Mr. Olariwaju Onobowale. We also have Mr. Olariwaju Onobowale is the head of strategy, convenient finance. He'll be talking to us about cultivating a legacy of excellence. We also have one of our speakers. We have Jawosimi Olabaniji Eniton, the special assistant to the Honorable Speaker of National House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas, on media. He will also be speaking to us on cultivating a legacy of excellence. We have our speaker, Moro Muluwa Tiketike. I'm sure a lot of us will know her on IG. She's a content creator, and she's also an MC. She will be speaking to us on navigating content creation as a career. So like I said, we have everything fully packed for every one of us. And interestingly, it's not just for those that will be attending in person. We are also creating an avenue where those that will not be able to meet, that will not be able to attend the in-person alumni week can also join virtually. And this will be communicated to us as well. Then also, if you have any businesses that you also want to advertise, we have the alumni events, alumni week event brochure that will be um, distributing during the course of the week. And we have the back page for 100,000 naira, the inside of the back page for 75,000, the center page for 150,000, full page for 50,000, half page for 25,000, quarter page for 15,000. All these are on our social medias. We will also be dropping a lot of them as well on every of our platforms as well. So that if you are interested in actually advertising your business, because we encourage every one of us to showcase whatever you're doing. We are a community of over 8,000 people, and I believe if you have 8,000 clients, I'm sure you have what it takes to call yourself a rich person already. And this is an avenue for us. We encourage you guys to network very well, network and make good use of this opportunity as well. We'll share the flyer as well, and we will have any other information we're going to have regarding this will also be communicated. All right, that being said as well, there is also gala night. I think this one actually caught my attention. There's gala night, gala and awards night, where we have we'll be giving awards to people in the community that have done extremely well, encouraging a lot of people as well in this regard. And this has a ticket set for reservation. Regular ticket is 5,000 naira. VIP, that single VIP is 10,000, double VIP is 15,000. Table for four is 50,000 naira, and table for six is 75,000 naira. So the gala and awards night dinner is happening on the 5th of December, which is a Friday. No, sorry, and it's Thursday rather of December. And the time is 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And there's going to be an after party. After party is on a Friday, on the 6th of December, 2024. As you're going to have an access card. Access card to the after party is 10,000 naira. And this is something that has been planned, and a lot of works have been going on the ground to make sure that, yes, we have an exceptional alumni week. And believe me, everyone that is going to be in this, that'll be part of this alumni week, are going to give, they will have a story to tell, and they will keep telling the story because it's going to be very exceptional. It's going to be very, very, I don't know what the word to use again. Believe me, it's something that you never regret, basically. All right, so another thing I would like to also let us understand is we've been having issues regarding our IG accounts. The initial one was suspended. We're still working towards getting it recovered. At the same time, we have another one that's been created, and we also have a backup page as well. So do well to follow us on our IG, official _ Jabu Alumni. That's the created one, the newly created one, official _ Jabu Alumni. Then the backup account is official.Jabu Alumni. So if you're yet to follow us on social and Instagram, and please kindly do that. And also, if you're yet to also register on our website, please feel free to do that as well. We need the community. We are over 80,000. We are over 8,000 alumnus, and I believe that yes, it's a very huge community that can help one another for networking. Like I said, if you have any business, we'll also be showcasing. We're rolling out an event very soon where we can help people advertise their businesses, and that is going to be one of our goals for 2025, because we want everybody to be impacted in the community and not just come and listen as well. We just want everybody to be impacted so we can make sure that everybody will grow together. And like one of our artists will always say, we rise by lifting others. And I believe this is a community for that. That being said, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's webinar. I so much appreciate this. I'm actually very happy for this, the way we're closing for the year in terms of our biannual webinar. This has been so fantastic. Kudos to the speaker once again for this very enlightening conversation, and I also want to appreciate the committee that have actually put this together. That's the alumni, Jabu Alumni Career Committee. You guys have done exceptionally well. We appreciate every of your effort. We thank you for bringing this together. We thank you for creating this community and bringing us together to learn in this community. Thank you so much. At the same time, we also want to appreciate the Executive Council, this good mindset and bringing everyone together. We equally appreciate every one of us that have joined this webinar today. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having you in a very next event. Please try as much as possible not to miss out on the alumni week. If you're not going to be going, you can also join virtually. Or if you have the opportunity to actually go, please do well to go. Yes, the part of the we recorded the session, so definitely we'll be sharing the recorded version as well on the webinar. And at the same time, interestingly speaking, this we have something very interesting that we just did. We have a YouTube page, and believe me, we never actually thought of this initially, but interestingly, we have a YouTube page, and I really want to give kudos to the brain behind this, in the person of the General Secretary of the Alumni Association, Mr. Saberedo Abayomi. He has been wonderfully well since joining the council, so he has also helped us in making sure that yes, we have a YouTube page. So this is going to be on our YouTube page. The recorded is going to be on our YouTube page. We'll be dropping it very soon. So if you want to also go back to it, we'll share the link as well, and we will have everything in our YouTube page. So going forward, we will be having every of our webinars, everything that we've done so far on our YouTube page. And we also encourage everyone of us to follow us on our YouTube page and like, comment, and we can engage very well. This is just an opportunity for us to bring the alumni body closer to everyone, and emphasis on we want everybody to network. And I believe we have the capacity, we have the audience as well. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm very happy for this. Interesting. All right, so thank you, and we will be closing this. But before we close this, I would like to call on the career committee chairman to have the closing remark as we officially close the alumni bi-monthly webinar. Dr. Dari, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Cheryl. This is first to really appreciate everyone who has participated in today's bi-monthly webinar, and of course a huge appreciation goes to our own dear Tomiisin Balogun. Very resourceful, rich mindset, and of course intelligent as well. We also want to extend the appreciation to the Executive Council, who's also been who has the idea to come up with this committee. And of course, my appreciation would not be complete without appreciating the members of the committee for their tireless effort, commitment into the many times that we meet to discuss brainstorm, times not convenient, times that are convenient, and then we still have to make out something just so that we impact the community. So grateful. We're looking forward to a fruitful 2025. We're of course sitting down to also come up with more engaging discussions for year 2025. And of course, I think the one that we'll also be closing with would be what we put together for the graduates coming next week. I mean, please find time to also be part of it. It's going to be an hybrid event. Please make out time, and let's see how we can, contribute one way or the other to what is happening within the community. To be honest, you can't be I mean you can't shy away from however successful we may all be. We cannot shy away from your sources, and trust me, one of your sources is the Jabo alumni. Sorry, Jabo, right? And I mean the only way we can reconnect is within this community, and that's why a whole lot of efforts are going on, driven by the executive councils to ensure that foster that connectivity, that connection, and of course, I mean, supporting one another in terms of even career opportunities, business opportunities, and then whatsoever other support that may be required. I'm sure that 2025 also comes with very bright opportunities. So on this note, thanks again for everyone who's been part of this event. And thank you, Abayomi, for setting this platform up as well for us to fully express this afternoon. All right, thanks a lot. I'll pass the mic back to Shell, their host.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And thank you so much, everyone. I would like to invite the alumni presidents to also have a speech, and from there we'll call it a day. The presidents, you have the floor.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this privilege discussion. Well done. I want to celebrate our wonderful Sister Tomiisin. It was a wonderful section, and I had a great time myself. I pray God will continue to enrich your wisdom in Jesus' name. I want to give a big shout out to the career committee, every member of the committee under the leadership of Dr. Dario Balogun. Thank you for the wonderful job you are doing. And I will encourage you, please don't relent. We need more of this. So I know the numbers may be discouraging, but like you will agree with me, we are just starting this recently, and people are there to get really connected with some of these activities. But looking into 2025, we believe we have better turnout, and more awareness will go across. More people attending the webinar. So to career committee, please do not be discouraged. Do not feel broken. We'll eat harder next year. Hopefully, we will start getting hundreds of people attend our webinars. Thank you once again for this program. Thank you, Mr. Dari. For everyone that joined, I celebrate every one of us. I appreciate, on behalf of the career committee, I appreciate every one of us. I pray in every sphere of our life, we will continue to excel. And I pray in every crisis we're going through right now, God in heaven, we see us through it and help us come out of it stronger. Once again, on behalf of the Executive Council, I appreciate everyone, I appreciate the Career Committee. Thank you, Mr. Oluwaseun Adenuga, our host for today. Well done. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, President. And, Mrs. Tomiisin has opened our eyes. It's time bound. We are not discouraged. We are going to take this positively and make sure that, yes, we move in a progressive way to make sure we have at least a lot of people join our career going forward. Thank you so much, everyone. That being said, we've come to the end of today's session, and we started with prayer. We would also close with prayer. And I would like to call on, I'm searching. I would like to call on Mr. Damilola Oposhino to give us a closing prayer. You can please unmute the mic and give us a closing prayer, Mr. Damilola Oposhino. Okay, I think Mr. Damilola is not with us in spirit. So okay, since a man actually started the prayer, so I think I'll move the baton to a lady. So I'll call her Miss or Mrs. Gloria or Glory Olarewaju. I'm just picking randomly from the list of participants. So please, apologies if that's caught you unawares. Glory Olarewaju, can you give us a closing prayer? Or should we continue the webinar? I think people don't really want to go there and join the. Maybe we should invite Mrs. Tomiisin Balogun to come back and continue. Should we do that?
Hello, sir. Hello. Hey. Hello.
Oh, you are in church. All right, it's fine.
Yes, brother. Thank you.
I believe our prayers are answered already. All right, so our Father and our God, we want to thank you for this wonderful time, and we appreciate you for the privilege given to us to gather together and learn. We thank you for that which you've actually impacted in our lives today. We thank you for the vessel at which you have used to impact our lives. Everlasting Father, we pray, O Lord Almighty, that which we have learned, you will give us the grace, the strength to carry on with it. You will give us the privilege to make good use of it in our day-to-day life. You will give us the enablement to never give up. We thank you for the person you've used to actually to teach us today. We pray that you will continue to increase her, you will continue to elevate her knowledge-wise, you will give her increase in her career. She will never miss it in her life. We pray, O Lord Almighty, that every one of us that we have attended this webinar, we pray, O Lord, that you will give us, Father, the strength that we need to keep a positive vibe always. You will give us the grace never to give up. You will give us the mindset that will be a courageous one in every challenge is faced. We thank you because this you've done for us. In Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much, everyone. We can all unmute our mics and have exchange pleasantries. And if you also want to unmute your video, you can turn on your videos and exchange pleasantries. Thank you.